Hello, in this tutorial I will show you how to utilize tasks, which is a brilliant tool to actually manage our time and help us actually not to forget about things. Every one of us right now is usually very busy, and we tend to believe that we just overloaded with work. Simple tools like task management is unbelievable to understand how actually little we're doing, and that's usually the case. I discovered it myself. I always thought that I'm so incredibly busy. When I started using the tasks properly, I realized, oh, I've got actually plenty of time left. I was way more organized. I didn't lose time on trying to figure out what I was supposed to do or what I have to do. Everything is in a very simple list, and it really helps us to manage our time way more efficiently. Now there are two ways you can access the tasks. You can obviously from the menu, you can click on task on the top, or you can actually utilize the side panel at the same time. So the side panel shows you actually the tasks that actually belong to that particular day we are in. So today it's 8th of July. I have two tasks which you can see both of them actually in the red color, which means that they are overdue. So if I'm going to type in, click on the one below, and I will type in here test one, which is a simple thing. I can click on edit to get more options, and it's very similar to the ones with appointments. So it's a similar actually window where we can add a description of the task, so we can explain exactly what we expect from this task, what we want to do with it. We actually can assign it to a project which at this stage probably is very much irrelevant, and the most important is the due date. So the due date is the time where actually the task will pop into your side panel on the home page. It will show actually, okay, this is the day this task needs to be completed. So if the test one, for example, would be call patient one, it's easy to realize, okay, I have to call that patient. We can actually add information here, or we can actually simply, just like in the appointments, we can actually relate it to. Once again, we choose patient search, and choose, I'll choose the same example, patient SC, and I just simply add it. In that case, what it will do, the task will pop in, will show me call this patient. I can very quickly click through that patient and find out his details. Obviously the phone number that I have to call in this case. I can delegate the task. I can delegate to external email, so someone that actually is not a user of the system can still manage the task and can actually update it. This is the really useful tool. If you would like to use the tasks, because it's for managing your personal stuff as well, you can delegate the task to your children, to your partner, to whoever you like to. And it always will be actually updating. They have option to update it from email level, which is very useful tool. Or you can actually use application practitioner. So if there is additional practitioner in your network or in your clinic, we obviously can link you together, and then in that list you're gonna have that additional practitioner you can use and delegate it straight away to it. And you can change actually the task owner. In this case, if it's a practitioner, obviously this option is not available for the external, but you can actually say, this task I want this practitioner to do, and you simply assign that task to that practitioner, and it will pop up in his calendar or her calendar, which is very useful. Again, similar story as in appointments. If we click on private, no one will be able to see the task actually. What is it about? So if it's a personal task that you don't want your receptionist or other practitioners that might have access to your calendar use, simply click on private, and they will not be able to get access to it. Priority, this is very important. This is where we actually assign, okay, this is incredibly important, and we say it's A1. Or we might say this is average, it's important but not crazy. It might be B1. You can add additional things as a professional and personal. Those options, just like in appointments, are more for reporting. So if you'd like to report on all your personal tasks, simply, if you're going to use that field, you will be able to report on those. If you don't, you just won't be able to report. Again, you've got a reminder, exactly the same story as before, and you can have actually the recurrence. So this is exactly like it works in appointments. You can make the task actually coming up every week. So if I have to collect something, or I have to put my bins outside for collection in the morning, I can actually set it up for myself. And to be honest, actually I did. It's very, very useful. It reminds me every Sunday, which is today, that I have to take my bins out, and it's useful. When we are really busy, those little things are the most annoying because we usually tend to forget about them. This system allows you actually to manage them very, very effectively, and it's a help that I never had before, and I'm glad that I do now. So that's pretty much everything about the task. Additional thing, you can add files. So if the task is related that you have to update a document, that you have to create a document, that you have to add something, calculate, you can attach any type of file here, and obviously you very quickly will be able to go back to it and update it. Every time, just like in appointments, you have to save and close. If we will not save and close, any change made will not be saved. So in this case, if I save and close, obviously, as you can see, this pops in. Now this is the interesting part. The reason it's actually in the middle because we set it up as B1, as you can see, and one of the overdue tasks is set up as A1. That's why it's on the top. If we would like to say, okay, this actually call Mr. Burns is done, or we click next to the A1, if we just click on that little box, you've got different options. So you can delete the task if you want to. You can redelegate it to someone else. You might say, this task is in progress, I'm actually working on it, and it's useful. This specifically is useful in cases where your receptionist is looking, okay, actually he's working or she's working, or if you delegate that task to someone else, you can see, okay, this person is currently working on it. Or it might be completed. So if I click on completed, it actually comes up with a tick. This has been completed, changes the color, as you can see, back to black because it's been done. And it's done. As soon as we actually go to the next day, it will disappear entirely. This is just a reminder. Now if we want to edit any of those tasks, all we have to do is click on the little pen. So if I click on the little pen, I'm going back to my window. I might add some notes, and in the notes, if we add the note very simply, it's a quick note that we added, and we just simply, as you can see, it comes up with a time when it was added. So this is very useful for conversations with other patients or receptionists with regards to that specific task. So if we want to, or your family, if you want them to actually update, they can do that at the same time. Remember, at the end, save and close. That's pretty much the most important. Now from the menu, you can straight away start new task as well. In this particular case, you will have to always change the date. But if you click just on tasks, it will bring you actually a list of all the tasks that you have currently on, and you can actually change view by. You can have a look my tasks, or you can have to look at all tasks. The all task is very useful, and that's why we set it up as a default. Because if you have additional practitioners or receptionists that you delegated the tasks to, you will be able to see those tasks too and what actually is their progress. So this is a very simple snapshot of everything that happens, and obviously you can again click through to them and change and update them all the time. So this is the tasks in the system. Once again, please do use them because they really are very, very helpful, and they can save a lot of time. Thank you.